Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Mike Chu, a physical therapist. Hey, today we have a special guest. Her name is Teresa Roddy, but we'll be back in a few seconds. Check out Hello Note. We'll be back in a few seconds, okay?
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error and allows you to spend more time with your patients. It comes integrated with billing. Claims are generated once a note is completed. You can bill with one click and a patient portal, which streamlines the patient intake process. Beautifully engineered and cloud-based for easy accessibility, the software works on all platforms. You can access patient records from anywhere. We also offer 24/7 support. HelloNote is the practice management solution that you're looking for.
Well, hello everyone. This is Dr. Mike Chu. We are back. I'm streaming live here in our Highland location. If you need physical therapy, of course, we are here at the North Highland location in Jackson, Tennessee. And of course, check out hellonote.com if you are in private practice. You want to open up your own private practice, see patients one-on-one via Medicare or commercial insurance. You can use HelloNote. Check them out, hellonote.com. And of course, MedBridge Education. If you need continuing education units, use the code alternative or Dr. Mike. You'll get, I think, 40% discount, right? So, okay, let's go back to our little show. We have a special guest for today. Her name is Teresa Roddy. I hope I'm pronouncing her last name right? So we were going to talk about how to start your own travel agency business, but while she's working on her travel business, she's been a COTA. For those people who don't know, COTA, Certified Occupational Therapist Assistant, and she's been working for 25 years now. And she's a travel business owner. She's been traveling all over for 2.5 years now, and she's a clinical director for an OTA program. So without further ado, let's go ahead and bring in Teresa.
Hey,
Teresa, what is
Mike.
going on?
Good. How are you?
Well, I'm here, so we're here. So again, could you please tell us again who you are, what do you do, and help us start our own travel business?
Absolutely. So I'm Teresa Roddy. You did have it right, Mike. So I have been
Okay.
a COTA for 25 years,
Mm-hmm.
and I've done a little bit of everything from pediatrics to geriatrics to inpatient
Why are you
rehab.
looking at me when you say geriatrics? So
Well, people over the age of 70.
I know, right? So,
So you're not that old.
yeah.
um, and currently am a clinical director for an OTA program.
Mhm.
And I opened up my travel business about 2.5 years ago. It'll be 3 years in June. And I overheard the reason I started was I overheard a dad on a cruise ship talking about how his autistic son couldn't order chicken tenders on a specialty diner on the cruise because he was over the age of 12.
Hmm.
And I knew that with my skills as a pediatric COTA and my love of travel, that I could combine those two skills together to be able to help families like his be able to travel and make their life easier with travel as well. So that is how I got started in my business.
Well, thank you for that. So you know what? I've been, I have this, side business too. I book, trips. When I go to speaking engagement, I book my own hotel. I fly there, and I get special discount using the account that we have. But with that, on that side note, there are so much opportunities uh, on the niche of travel agency when you are a therapist,
Right.
whether you're a PT, PTA, OT, OTA. There's so much niche, like what you said about, the kids with autism. Imagine if you organize this event yourself. All right, if you are a entrepreneurial enough, there are people who are entrepreneurial enough to be able to do this. If you are the type of person who are not outgoing and you're not, you're shy about charging, you're going to have a hard time with the business. You have to learn how to sell skills and sell the product itself, which is you, right? So imagine, just like me, our clinic is called Rehab Physical Therapy Geriatrics. And imagine if me, I wish I need someone who can do this for me. Imagine if I organize this and go out on a trip with dementia patients, people with Alzheimer's. There's one lady who's doing it already, right, Teresa? They would go
Yeah.
out on a trip.
Yep.
I think I forgot her name.
Well, I know that there's one lady, Mary, who does. She goes to travel with people all the time. She plans their
Yeah.
trips and then she travels with
Mhm.
them as well.
And
So,
those are nurses and therapists. But here
mhm,
locally, the one in Union City, Tennessee, we have a clinic in Union City, Tennessee, and we went. My wife, she does my marketing, and our PT there went to a senior citizen center. And we were kind of selling our services as physical therapy clinic, and they said, "Oh, we can't start physical therapy yet." I said, They said, "Why?" "Oh, we're going out on a trip." As a whole, the actual senior citizen center are organizing it. Imagine if you offer that service in a senior citizen center, going to Alzheimer's Association. Hey, we're gonna organize this trip. We're gonna do, book your hotel. Do everything. All the nitty little details. And you provided that need. Is this what you're doing, Teresa? Can you tell us more about what you're doing?
absolutely. So um, will set up tables at. I specialize with pediatrics, but
Mm-hmm.
people have different niches in with the older population in senior citizen homes or in retirement communities. And so I will set up tables at autism events or a Down syndrome walk or a disability pride day. And when people stop at my table, they're like, oh my gosh, I didn't even know that there was somebody around that could help me plan my trips and find accommodations that could accommodate me and my wheelchair. Or I didn't know that there was somebody that could help me find a hospital bed to be able to go on a cruise ship. I didn't know that I could get dialysis on a cruise ship. I didn't know that I could rent a wheelchair to be able to go onto the beach with my family. So there's all these different things that we can do as therapists that we can help provide as travel agents for these families that want to be able to travel. Whether it be a multi-generational trip, you've got your grandparents, the parents, and the grandchildren maybe wanting to travel together. Maybe you've got a group of senior citizens that want to travel together, or maybe you've got a couple who one of the spouses has recently had a stroke and they've got hemiparesis and they're wheelchair bound. Well, how are you going to get in and out of a cruise room if you're in a standard room and the door's not wide enough to get through? Well, there's wheelchair accessible rooms that you can be able to book for our folks that are wheelchair bound, and you can rent Hoyer lifts to be able to get patients transferred and stuff like that on cruise ships. So it's kind of cool that we have all of this knowledge and we have access to vendors who can rent or my clients can rent these things for the weeks to be able to go on these vacations. Families think, oh, I don't have the equipment to be able to go with me on vacation. It's too big and too bulky. We've got vendors that will deliver it to the cruise ship or deliver it to the places for them in order to be able to take those trips. So I
Wow.
don't want mobility to be an issue for somebody, the reason that somebody's not taking a trip, or sensory concerns to be the reason that somebody's not taking a trip. So I try to set those things up for people so they have a successful trip.
Amazing, amazing. Imagine, I mean, I book my own trips and everything. I go to Expedia or whatever. There's like a little checkbox there. Hey, you need the wheelchair accessible room, stuff like that. But most of our patients, they don't know that.
Mhm.
They don't know where to rent a wheelchair. They don't know where to uh, borrow or rent a hospital bed for like a week or two. They don't know the contacts. They don't know who to reach out to. And this is where you, as a travel agent, specifically for people who have disabilities, whether it's intellectual, physical, emotional, that's where you come in. That's where you identify the need. So we're specifically streaming this in our alternative career group. So Teresa, how do you train yourself to do this? I mean, me, I'm a physical therapist. I kind of know a little bit here and there, but is there an actual training? Do you teach them how to do this? How does this work?
So as with any job, you get a little bit of training, right? Our host agency, they first teach you how to book travel, right? Because if you don't know how to book travel, how are you going to book travel for somebody with a disability, right? So first you learn those skills. And then there are, just like we have continuing ed courses as occupational therapists and physical therapists, there is continuing ed out there for different disability courses that you can take in regards to planning trips for people. So I currently have a few different certifications. One of them is from a company called Special Needs at Sea. That was my very first certification that I got. And I got that within my first month. And then the second certification that I got was a certified autism travel planner. And then I became a certified cruise consultant and an accessible cruise consultant. So I've got several different certifications regarding accessible travel. And it's all things that you can't get as a regular therapist. You have to be a travel planner in order to get those extra certifications. And our team, I feel like, is a little bit unique in the fact that anytime we come across a continuing education course or extra training or resources or information on a cruise line or a hotel, we share a Google Drive and amongst all of us as therapists. So everybody has access to that on our team. So nobody is without extra resources to know, I remember somebody talking about this place in Italy. So they can go to our shared Google Drive and see, I can go book a trip here. And I remember somebody talking about this. And we have monthly accessible travel planning meetings, and we're bouncing ideas off of each other and teaching each other something because of other courses that we've taken ourselves. So we're always learning something each month about accessible travel and sharing the knowledge amongst each other as a team.
Amazing. So you have like a group of people who would, bounce ideas too, right? Is that correct?
Absolutely.
You're not just alone where I'm going to call, who am I going to call, stuff like that.
Absolutely. There's probably, on our entire team, we've got about 2,000 people on our team. But in regards to therapists on our team, we probably have close to 100 or 150 therapists. But if you think about how many people who have disabilities in the entire world, 100 to 150 therapists is really not that many. So there is really a need for occupational therapists, physical therapists, speech therapists to be able to start their own business as an accessible travel agent to help those people with disabilities. And
so true. I mean, it's not about scarcity mindset. It's all about abundance mindset. People would think, too much already. People, just like physical therapy clinic. There's a physical therapy clinic just here in where I'm at right now in Jackson, Tennessee. They're like, just right. There's a clinic right beside me here. And just here in Jackson, I have 1, 2, 3, 4 clinic here in Jackson, Tennessee, which is only 30,000 people. Imagine that. I have like multiple clinics in one city. And same thing with accessible travel, ladies and gentlemen. You might think, we got like how many? 200, 150, let's just say 2,000. Those 2,000 people cannot serve all the people who have disabilities. There are a lot of people who wants to get out of the house. Just right now, I was looking at before we went live, Teresa. There's this contract called here in Tennessee called the DDA, Department of Disability and Aging. And there are thousands of people who needs to go out of the homes. We call it the DDA, and of course they're under that is called the DIDD, Department of Intellectual Developmental Disabilities. Part of their program is instead of them staying in the home, they need to go out. So when I was starting up with this home visits, this therapy visits, I was like, where are these patients going? I thought they were supposed to be homebound. No, the program that the state is offering to these people who have disabilities is that they need to take these clients out. They don't even call them patients. They need to bring them out and about. Go to Walmart, go to the park. And one time I said, where are these patients? And I asked the house manager, and the house manager said, oh, the whole staff and the patients or the clients went to Disney. They're organized it.
Yeah.
And you'll see them around in Walmart or shopping mall. They're walking around with their house manager managing them. And imagine if we tap all of these agencies to offer our services. Hey, we will organize this for you. You're not going to pay us extra. All we need to do is, we will book it in our system, in our whatever system, right? And then that's, we as travel agents, that's where we make our money. And we book there. And then, some are affordable. Of course, depending on where you're going, you organize that. Imagine if you niche down to dementia, niche down to just intellectual disabled people in your community, niche down to autism like Teresa was doing it. That's going to be the goal, ladies and gentlemen. And if this is really an alternative career, you're still using your therapy mind, your therapy, decision making skills, and you're applying it to the community. And imagine you can doing that and mostly making money and traveling too. You
Yeah.
know, I saw one of your whoever that is, I forgot her name. She was traveling with the people in the cruise.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm like, I need to do it. No, normally I travel with my family, but I use that account to travel with my family. You know what I mean? So,
Mhm.
um, Teresa, could you tell us more? And then, of course, after you telling us more, where can they reach you? Where can they find you and stuff like that?
So I think, the big thing that people don't always realize is that it really is just about talking to people and finding out what it is that they like to do and what it is where they want to go. Up with goals for a patient, right? It's, our patients want to be able to get back home when we work with them, or maybe they want to be able to walk longer distances. The same thing happens with travel. Where do you want to go? How long do you want to stay? You know, we need to find out, how do they transfer if they've got mobility needs? If they've got sensory needs, do you need to think about taking breaks throughout the day? So maybe I'm planning a hotel stay a little bit closer to the theme parks that they're going to, so they can take those breaks a little bit more regularly. I think another thing that people worry about is, I don't know anything about marketing, and I don't know how to, I'm not comfortable putting myself out there. And as part of our team, we teach you how to do all of that. And it's not, we don't want people to feel like they're spammy pammies, right? Because nobody likes those spammy pammy people, like, buy this from me and buy that from me. And we just try to show people that we're trying to provide something of value to them. And people don't realize that commission is already built into everything that they book travel related, whether they book on Hilton.com or Norwegian Cruise Lines or Royal Caribbean Cruise Lines or on Expedia or Priceline. People are already paying that commission. So why not use a travel agent to be able to help you book that trip? And when you're using a travel agent, you're going to get that special care and attention to make that trip more personalized, because then you know that you're getting the attention and the care that you need. So if people want to know a little bit more, I'm obviously in the Facebook group. So my name is Teresa Roddy. people can send me a direct message. I've got a business Facebook page as well, Accessible Travel with Teresa, and then I'm also on Instagram as well, Accessible Travel with Teresa.
Cool. Well, again, thank you very much, Teresa. I appreciate you for your time and everything. But before I let you go, they can reach you in your Facebook page. Do you have email? I know you said Instagram and everything like that. So
yeah, sending me a direct message would probably be the easiest. They can look me up on Facebook and just send me a direct message, and I'll respond. Usually, really good at responding same day, unless I've gone to bed. But
hey, that's us. Well, again, thank you very much, Teresa. I appreciate you. Thank you for your time, and thank you for answering the call, because many are called, but few are chosen to do this. A lot of people will try it and dabble it. And I was just telling this to my daughter earlier. She called me, and I said, "You know what? When you just try, you gotta keep trying it. Try and try until you succeed." Now, if you're doing the same thing again and again and not adapting and adjusting, it's called insanity. You know what insanity means? You're doing the same thing again and again without adjusting and modifying. And same thing with therapy. If you're doing the same thing again and again and you're not getting any result, that's not skilled therapy, right? You're not adjusting the movement. You're not adjusting and modifying the exercise. It's same thing when you want to start your business. Same thing when you start your travel agency. You may say, "Oh, I'm a sales agent." Well, guess what? You lost already in that conversation, because you already told yourself, "I'm not a sales agent." Well, guess what? All of us in therapy, we're sales. Imagine you're selling your services. You're asking an elderly lady or a pediatric kid, of course, pediatric kid, elderly lady, they're the same, right? A
yeah,
pediatric person, a kid, you're not doing therapy, you're playing, right? You're doing play therapy. And same thing when you're doing this business, you don't, like what Teresa said, you don't have to be salesy. I hope I don't come across as salesy. Some people, they call me a snake salesman, but I'm not, I just have good energy. But, you just have to do it, and try it. Now, if it's not really for you, guess what? It's not really for you. But if it's really for you and you answer the call to serve the community of people who has autism, the community of people who has Alzheimer's or dementia, guess what? You're going to rock this. Again, thank you very much, Teresa. I appreciate you. But before I let you go, always remember the word FAST, FAST, ladies and gentlemen. Letter F, find people that will bring out the best in you, because you are the average to 5 people you hang with. Teresa said they got 200, 300, 400 people who have the same mindset. Find those people. Next letter is letter A, take action. All this stuff that we're doing is not going to do me good. It's not do her good if you don't take action. Take action by liking and subscribing, right? Take action by reaching out to her. It's very important that you talk to them. And then, do your own due diligence too. Just don't blindly go. Just like therapy, you just don't follow your therapist and do 3 sets of 10. You ask them, because, hey, what is the purpose of this straight leg racing? What is the purpose of this lower trunk rotation? What is the purpose of you training me to put on my donning and doffing my shirt, right? So take action. Next letter is letter S, share and subscribe. The more shares, the better. And last but not least is letter T, is teach it. Why? Because when you hear it, you forget. When you see it, you remember. But when you're actually teaching it, that's what Teresa's doing. She's teaching us. That's how you understand it. Again, thank you very much. Be awesome,
thanks,
be
Mike.
great, be excellent. And we'll see you in the next episode of our Jerry Hab Show, or Alternative Healthcare Career Show. Thank you, Teresa. I appreciate you.
HelloNote is a truly therapist-friendly practice management solution with integrated EMR that will enhance workflow, efficiency, and patient care. HelloNote reduces error